All right, we will go ahead and get started. We have a very thin crowd tonight in person, so thanks to those of you that are joining online. We had a cancellation on our agenda. Sim Gill, the district attorney, is unable to join us. He'll be coming to our October meeting instead. And then just a preview of our September meeting. We will have Jenny Sika, who's our school board representative, as well as Dr. Elizabeth Grant, the new superintendent of Salt Lake City Schools. They'll be here to talk about the boundary study, the school closures, and potentially the high school bond if the board has made a decision or moved forward in that direction. That would be the bond that would rebuild Highland High and West High School potentially. So they'll be here to talk about that in September. Tonight, we have Jordan Atkin with TAG SLC who will be presenting. He has a rezone request in for a development on 900 West. And then after that, we'll dive into community updates and hear from our city representatives. We're not joined tonight by any of our state representatives. They had interim today and let me know that they wouldn't be here. So with that, Jordan, we're ready for you if you're ready to go.
Okay, let's see if I can figure out how to screen share here.
And if there's any issues, we'll get it. We can get you made a co-host.
So, let's do Google Chrome here. Okay, can everyone see that?
Yep.
I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Drake.
Cool.
All right. Hey, guys, I'm just going to walk you through real quick our project tag 1380. So we're seeking a rezone from R1 7000 to RMF 30. Here is the location of our project and just a little bit about how our project would fit into the community. To tell you a little bit more about our project, we felt like this was a great location to add some gentle density to the neighborhood. There's a single family home that's existing on the lot right now that has been deemed uninhabitable due to a fire. So a little bit more about our project is we've got a center loaded drive aisle with 21 townhome units. There's two different concepts, a 4-unit and a 3-unit. We've done a couple of things to try to lessen the impact on the community as well by increasing the side yards to try to give the neighbors a little extra buffer. We also like the RMF 30 zone because it requires that there's a lot of open space in the area, and we have also exceeded that. So instead of meeting the 50% open space requirement, we're actually at 64% open space. So here is our concept for our 4-unit. These are going to be for sale townhome units. We tried to make them family size. They're 4-bed, 2.5 bath, and they all have a 2-car garage, and they're all above 1,700 square feet. And that's our project. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away.
Yeah. And I just want to know, I had several residents contact me about this, expressing some concern. This proposal has changed since the original proposal was submitted back in March. So they reduced it from 24 townhomes to 21 townhomes. I let the residents know that reached out to me that I personally support this project. I think it's a great project for the area that it's proposed. I love that they're family sized. I love that they have increased the amount of open space. And at the end of the day, this is the type of zoning that our master plan calls for on 900 West. So with the new Glendale Regional Park and some of the other new developments, there's about $9 million that's going to be spent along the Jordan River. One concern that I have is that we're going to see increased enthusiasm for folks wanting to move into this neighborhood, given that we're getting a $30 million new park and other investments. Without increased density and without some new development like this, house prices are going to continue to rise and the cost of living in Glendale will continue to rise. And we'll see more and more of the existing rentals here either increase in price or be flipped and sold. And so we'll continue to see the displacement and things that are happening. And I'm hoping that by adding density like this along our major corridors, like 900 West and 1700 South, that we can offset some of that displacement and welcome new neighbors that are going to want to be here. So just wanted to say that in case folks had questions on where we stand. Any questions?
What is how much is it going to cost a family to purchase?
Jordan, did you hear that question about cost? How much one of these will cost?
Yeah, so we don't have a set price on it right now. The market is a little bit shaky right now, so we anticipate maybe them coming in around mid 400s, but we don't know for certain.
Yeah.
And then can you go back to the map?
Can you go back to your slide with the map that showed 900 West? Thank you. So it's 1380 South, 900 West, just west of the Sorensen Center. And it is just one single family home that was burned.
Also, to maybe eliminate some of the confusion, this the road that's entering to the south, that's actually going to be fenced off. That's just for the fire department, so we can have a fire truck turn around on our property as well.
Okay.
So it's across the street from the Sorensen Center.
Yeah,
pretty much.
to the west.
There was a big, huge kind of a block house right there. That might be the one.
Yep, and it's the one that burned. And if you go past it, it's got all the signs on it and it's been condemned due to that fire. And so the yard is really large there on 900 West. So pretty amazing. And just for those in the room that are unfamiliar, R1 7,000 means residential, one building on a 7,000 square foot lot. So that's single family home, single family zoning. It'll change to RMF 30, which is residential multifamily up to 30 feet tall. So these will be no taller than 30 feet. So
So they,
three stories, 2.5.
they may have some grass around them.
Yeah, they will. They'll, I believe it was about 60% of that will be open space and grass, all those green areas.
Most of the ones they're building there were right up to the edge of the road. Front doors opening on the sidewalk. There's no grass, there's no.
Yep.
Nothing.
And I think this is a good development because it includes that green space and these are for sale. Folks are going to be buying these and it's nice to see owner occupied developments in the neighborhood instead of everything being for rent. Not that we don't want to see for rent stuff, but
So so are they, if someone is buying it, are they allowed to rent it out?
yeah, they could still do that. Yep. Any other questions?
When I got something, my email message, it seemed like there was more than just this development with Ninth West. Did I understand that right?
Yep, there's several. So there's another one down at about 1700 South. I think it's 1650-ish South. So just north of 7-Eleven. That's also a development like this that's being rezoned. And I would predict that over the coming years, we're going to see many more of this style of development along 900 West. That's, yeah. And it's what's called for in our master plan. So
there are more coming up. This is just what we're going to see today.
yep, just today. And if you're curious about developments that are coming, Jenny does a really good job of putting them all on our website. We include all of these schematics and drawings and all the documentation we get from the city, we put on our website under updates. So you can go there and search, you can go there and find all the ones that we're aware of that have been brought before us.
And I did add a link to chat,
Oh.
but I think it's the older version of the concept.
Okay. Thank you, Jordan. That's all that we've got for you and your team. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I will put our email in the chat, and then if anyone has any follow-up questions or wants to engage directly, we are always available and eager to help people better understand how these things come together.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a great evening. Thank you.
With that, we'll move on. Alicia, do you want to go next?
Sure. Do I just,
Okay, if you just come up front, then we can get you on camera. just right, anywhere there, just, yep.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alicia de Leon, and I am the mayor's community
You're okay.
liaison for districts 2 and 3. So this is District 2. Hello. Joshua, who used to be, or was working here in the area, Joshua Rebollo, I don't know if you remember him. And so I started on June 12th, so this is my second month. I would like to say that I am not an expert, and I'm not an expert at any of the topics for the city, but I am here to distribute information and go back and forth with the mayor's office or the city in terms of taking your feedback back to the mayor's office and then bringing back information, resources. So if I don't know if I don't have the answer to a question, I'm always happy to do my homework and follow up with you all, okay? Oh, there we go. Okay, so, the first thing I'd like to share is that September is Idle Free Awareness Month. It goes along with the city's Idle Free, ordinance. And so I have some pamphlets there on the table. Let's see, Utah Clean Cities is coordinating a press event on August 31st at the state capitol. The city's sustainability department has a volunteer toolkit for the community members to help get the word out. And it's on the website, slc.gov/sustainability. The ordinance is prohibiting idling over 2 minutes. 40% of Salt Lake City pollution comes from mobile sources, cars, trucks, vans, etc. So we're trying to advertise this as well in schools. In terms of education, currently there's a campaign called Slow Down Schools in Session. And signs will be printed and available for any community member that wants to post near our schools that we have around the area. And so those will be available next Monday. And we're also trying to share the idle free ordinance with the schools. Let's see, the Planning Commission has a vacancy for this district. And so they are inviting residents who have related experience in architecture, construction, housing, land development, nonprofit work, real estate, urban design, urban planning. Anyone have experience in that area? Raise your hand. No? I am leaving the flyers there on the table as well. If you know any friends, neighbors, anyone that you want to recommend, the Planning Commission has an opening. They are in dire need of someone to represent this area.
What is it like? Is the liaison position or like what is the?
I take it as you're like a representative, an advocate, like a consultant on a board, planning board. And so you discuss short and long-term development projects that will impact the area that's being proposed. If you're interested, I can. There's a QR code, you apply, and I think in the past there have been graduate students, so if you're interested, I mean, you could apply and see if, you know.
If it's okay for graduate students, then I'm in.
It has, I've asked, because I wanted to recruit at the university, and so
Cool.
it's, they added people, graduate schools. in the
And
past, so.
both of our seats are now empty both of District 2s are open. So Levi, who was one of our former board members, was one of our reps, and he just had to step down due to work. So we have 2 openings in District 2, and they meet the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of the month, but it's like a 4-hour meeting. So it's a time commitment, and then you get, I believe, a $500 stipend a year for participating. So, but they feed you dinner and it's a long meeting. Basically, like this townhome development we're talking about, the Planning Commission would review and approve or review and deny, or can make changes to proposals like that.
Cool.
So,
Sounds
Yep.
right down my alley.
Definitely. Woo, good timing. Okay. Let's see, my community office hours is once a month and I'm taking any suggestions. Can you please let me know where you'd like me to be so that the community I can check in, they can check in, we have a conversation about what's going on in the city, anywhere that you recommend that has high traffic?
I have a sarcastic comment.
What?
if we could build a coffee shop in Glendale.
Oh,
And then
okay.
you could be here,
I know, right?
then, we would love to see you at our local coffee shop that we don't have.
Shucks. Wait a minute. Okay, yes, okay, I was thinking about something else, okay.
But other than that, like the library,
Yeah.
like here or the Sorensen Center would both be good.
Okay, I'll go ask permission a bit later. Let's see, the city's hiring crossing guards, needing, guards for the AM and PM, hours or both shifts. I believe, the flyer is right down the table as well, you get a free UTA pass for all guards. And it's $17 per crossing, flexible schedule, so if you're interested, flyers are over there. Let's see what else. How much time do I have when I'm giving community updates?
Just keep going,
Yeah, keep going.
as long as you want.
All right. There's a street festival this weekend. It is on Saturday, August 19th from 2 to 8 PM. It's on Kensington. It's the Kensington Street Festival. It's near the Salt Lake City Community College area. Located at 30 Kensington Avenue. No worry. All ages are welcome and admission is free. Let's see. Tomorrow, Mayor Mendenhall is pedaling with the public along with other city employees for Bike to Work Day. Riders will meet at Jordan Park and end at the Salt Lake City County Building. Complimentary snacks, music, and more. It starts at 7:30 in the morning, but the bike ride begins at 8:15. Bike to the city and county building, let me see, so it's at the Jordan Park. And it's also a free admission, all ages are welcome.
Can you repeat when does it start and where are they meeting at the park?
Sure. So Bike to Work Day it will be tomorrow, August 17th. You can meet at 7:30 in the morning. And it will be at Jordan Park, West Pavilion. Did I give the address or you're fine?
Oh, no, I know where that.
Yeah. The bike ride officially starts at 8:15, but if you wanna mingle and have coffee and say hello to the mayor, speak to anyone else, they're gathering at 7:30 in the morning. So meet at Jordan Park and then ride over to the Salt Lake City, city and county building. Okay, that's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, also, the last thing that I brought with me is, a handout on what the city's doing or how they're addressing homelessness. And so on August 1st, Salt Lake County Winter Response Plan was, shared with the city, with the community, and it was, created through a task force that was chaired by Mill Creek Mayor Silvestrini and Salt Lake City Mayor Wilson. It was submitted to the state and it was approved on the 10th of August. So it is creating 600 single adult beds, beginning in October, 100 additional family beds. And, they're starting to look for property right now in terms of, implementing a sanctioned camping ground site. The location is still being figured out. So I don't have that information yet, but I am willing to bring it. I think we'll have that information by next month in September. So, yeah. And just a little bit about myself. I am coming from the Salt Lake City School District. I worked with them for 8 years. I was their family school and collaboration specialist, and I ended my work with them on June 9th, and I started June 12th here at the mayor's office. So please let me know. I'm at your service. If you have any feedback for me on how I can best work with you, collaborate, support your work, please let me know. I'm always available through email, phone number, whenever. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Let's move on to Sorensen Center. Are you representing them, Landon, or? is Sean?
Sean's gonna be representing them today.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me all right?
Yep,
Hi, Turner. Hi, Landon and everybody there. I'm the Community Programs Manager at the Sorensen Unity Center right on 9th West in California. In a second here, I'll share my screen and just kind of There'll be about 5 minutes and go through what's going to be happening. We have a lot of free events coming up. Alicia was just there, and also Jordan, you know, we'll invite you. We have a lobby space. So as that project progresses, it's good space for community meetings, for public input of putting up as the plans get firmer, so folks can see how that project across the street will go, especially since it's right across the street. We've had issues with that house. It's good to see that some development and traffic and people walking around can help. I believe it's the one that has had lots of transients and in and outs of it. So anyway, I offer that. Alicia, you've been there, and we have lots of city meetings that go on, and we're going to hopefully be having our community fair in October this year. Usually we did it in May before COVID. So stay tuned to that, and I'll do more updates at the next council meeting on that. It'll be Thursday, October 5th, for opportunities for community tabling. I'm going to share my screen. I think I should be able to, and I'm just going to go through some upcoming events quickly. And Landon should also have the hard copies of this flyer, of these flyers, that he can share or leave them with the library table afterwards. Can you see that screen okay, Turner?
Yep.
Okay, so tomorrow night we have a vocal. These are all free, you guys, open to the public. Some real great groups as we strive for free and open to the public. A lot of these groups get Salt Lake City Arts Council grants or ACE grants through the mayors, and by them getting the grants and being on the west side, we're a city facility, we strive to do that, so that there's not an admission charge. So tomorrow night, it's a vocal fest with some barbecue and opera. You never see those two go together, but there'll be a food truck there, but the food truck will be charging, and the show's at 7 o'clock, and it's called Salt Lake Vocal Fest. Is sponsored by the Arts Council and the National Endowments for the Arts. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We have a gallery exhibit coming up. We do this every year. It's the Friends of Great Salt Lake. This will go up. It will be exhibited it will be installed in about a week. And then they will have an event, free and open to the public, Friday, September 8th at 6 o'clock. They have an arts contest or a jury thing of all from the Friends of Great Salt Lake. And the art hangs up for a couple of months in our gallery. We've done it every year. Had to take a couple of years off for COVID, but anybody can come and free to this and see the art in the gallery at any time. They have some really cool either photographs or paintings or sculptures. Somebody did an opera once, so that's coming up September 8th. There's another group. This is another one that's free and open to the public. It's a Cimarron, and they're going to be at Kingsbury Hall September 27th. That one's a ticketed event, but the day before they're doing a free workshop at Unity with Bomba Marile to do maracas and dance and drumming. Again, free open to the public September 26th. They might even be giving away some tickets to the performance on the 27th. This one's from Utah Presents, so Kingsbury Hall folks. Those are upcoming one-time events. We'll have other upcoming one-times in September and October, a theater performance called Exonerated and some other dance groups, and those will be coming up and posted. And now our regular ongoing folkloric dance is Monday, Tuesdays, free. They're a local group. I don't know if anybody's here, but there's a CLC festival kickoff. I think it's Friday, Turner, right, at the Glendale and Mountain View CLC. They're going to be performing there. It's to kick off the school year that they do with community tables and games and food. But no nonsense at Sorensen Unity every Monday and Tuesday nights. We also are having this is the Spanish flyer, but Planned Parenthood will be doing their teen council at Sorensen starting in September. And I believe this is Monday night. So if you know any teenagers, they're doing them all over the city, and we're going to be one site, but there's some in West Valley City and some on the east side. That'll be a Wednesday night. We have our ongoing wellness bus on Tuesday nights. They are going to start doing flu shot clinics for free. September 26th, 4 to 6 for the flu shots. If you have an insurance card, you can bring it, but otherwise they're free. Otherwise, Wellness Bus is there every Tuesday night anyway, but the 26th will be the free flu shot, as well as other ones on Kearns and Redwood Rec Center and other places. Again, Landon should have the flyers for these if you want hard copies. Teen Mom program is still going. They've got more teen moms enrolled. That's on a Tuesday night. If you know any teen moms that need some support, they get a little bit of a stipend. And I think they go up to, 21-year-olds with free childcare for that night. We're still doing tax help. That's volunteer income tax assistant. They come on Thursdays. You can drop in, but they recommend doing an appointment. And they're great folks that can help you file your returns, or now if you get letters or questions, Sue and other volunteers are there. There's no charge for it, and they're sanctioned, or they're trained volunteer income tax preparers through an IRS program. Thursdays 1 to 3:30 in the afternoon. That's ongoing. They'll stop December, January, and then start up again for the full tax season. Citizenship classes are going. They got full, but people are still welcome to come, and they will give information of other alternatives and at least triage folks to say, oh, here's some English learning information, and get them on a wait list, which is great to see that the citizenship class participation's high. They won't turn anybody away, at least to give information and get them on lists. Come Thursdays at 6:30, and that's IRC doing that. Again, these are all free. Piano and voice lessons start up again September through the Mundi Project. There's registration, phone number, and website. Landon will have those flyers, kids and adults, free. Those fill up fast. They're Saturdays at Unity in a classroom. There's the Spanish version. Then here's just our September overall calendar, and most of this is on there. We're starting to do these again post-COVID to give people a good snapshot. Alicia, these would be good too that I'll share with you. We have a big poster in our lobby, and we'll do them a month or two ahead of time to see what's happening at Sorensen on the city side. And most everything I just mentioned is on here. We're going to be closed Saturday the 2nd and the 4th for Labor Day. And like a lot of city departments, we're hiring teen program instructors, $20 an hour, 25 hours a week. They'll be at the Glendale Library. They're at the Sorensen Multicultural. They're at Northwest, and they are also at Central City for free teen activities, 12 to 18 years old. They just have to register through a parent for the teens. They will be at Glendale Friday tabling to get kids signed up. They do way cool stuff. Luckily, the city's allocated more money for higher pay and more staff for folks, for more teens to get involved. It's that in-between age, that 12 to 18. That's the big overview. And you're always welcome. And again, in the future, if we did, we could schedule a council meeting at Sorensen one year. Alicia, you asked 1 year, one month. There's not a coffee shop, but we could get a coffee cart and find some money to pay the cart and have some free coffee and refreshments and open house it to get more mingling and things happening. The county's doing a lot of stuff. We're a city facility, but the county runs Multicultural, which is the swimming pool and recreation activities. They have their own schedules for the pool and the fitness, and there is a small charge for those. I'm happy to answer any questions. We also have had some, and I know Detective Oliver is here. We have had an intruder and things going on like the neighborhood has. It's been not easy, but people and activity and walking around, new housing that who would have ever thought $400,000 is affordable housing now. But that helps because back of Sorensen and Riley is kind of a dead zone where people can't see folks. We're welcoming to everybody that comes in as long as they're law abiding and giving them as many resources as we can for homeless homeless resources, food pantries, legal aid. And the officers have been great, Detective Oliver, that have come and got the reports and recovered some stolen items. And anything any more officers can do to come through the parking lot or come visit would be really helpful. So happy to answer questions, and I'll pass it on, Turner, to the next agenda.
Just a note on the flyers, each of those flyers are laid out on these tables, so if you're interested in one of them, take one of them. There's also full packets of all of the flyers on this counter, so if you just want to grab everything that's going on, you can take a whole packet and take it home. That's all my notes.
And I think the festival's Friday, Turner. I don't know if you know, and UNP's doing it at Glendale Mountain View Friday afternoon to kick off the school year. I think that's the day.
I think that's a good segue to Detective Oliver. Trying to kind of just do your CompStat report and then we can do questions.
Sure, absolutely. And it's good to hear, Sean, that we are at least responding and getting some things taken care of over at the Sorensen. Let me pull up the numbers real quick. Okay, so citywide, we're just going to go citywide, break it down real quick. I hope you can hear me.
We can.
Okay, sorry. I can try. My camera hasn't been working. I can try and start video, but it might kick out. So citywide, we've had 11 homicides this year. That's up 3 from our 5-year average. So that's really concerning. That is up 41% over 5 years. So that's one of the issues that we're trying to work on. 5-year average also for the city is robberies. That's actually down 29%, as well as ag assaults. Ag assaults are up 21% for the city. Those are domestic violence calls. So that's something that, again, is concerning. If we break it down a little bit more in just District 2, we've had year to date, we've had 3 homicides in District 2. We average a 5-year average of 1. So we are up higher than we normally are at this time over a 5-year average. We are down 9% in business robberies and robberies outside of businesses. So we're down actually 70% in business robberies in District 2, which is a great number. That's over a 5-year average. And then we're up just barely in domestic violence. Those are just a crime that you just can't try and cure or fix, or it's just a hard one. But we are up 16.2% over a 5-year average. So 5-year averages, we're looking really good as far as numbers are concerned. And I don't know if there's anything else that you want to hear as far as motor vehicle theft, for example. 5-year average, we're down 100. So we're down 37%, which is ridiculous. Year to date, we're actually down 50% in motor vehicle thefts in District 2. I'm going to knock on wood because it hasn't gotten cold yet, but I'm going to run with that number because that's a great number. So that's the kind of a comp stat in a shell. If there's any questions, please feel free to yell at me or whatever you want.
Questions? Doesn't look like it. Thank you, Detective.
Man, thank you.
We're blazing through tonight. We'll move on to the Arts Committee. Give us just 1 second. Jenny's going to move up and then we're going to switch mics.
Great. You'll have to mute your computer. Yeah, that should fix it.
Okay.
We're good?
Good. Why is it showing? There we go.
So I'll just tell you when to forward the slides. Okay.
Thumbs up, throw it in.
All right. Oh my God. Is this okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm Sarah Wolf. I'm head of the Arts Committee with the Glendale Neighborhood Council, and I just wanted to share some things that we've been working on and things that we continue to work on. The Arts Committee kind of came out of the One Glendale plan. There was a lot of input from community members with interest in having more public art, more community events around art, and more performing arts in our neighborhood. So I started the Arts Committee a couple of years ago, and I'm just going to share with you some of the things that we've done so far with the Arts Committee.
Can you hold on one second, Sarah? Sorry, I just want to make sure everyone online can hear. Okay.
Want me to talk for test?
Yeah.
I was hearing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear.
And just to backtrack just a tad, we actually, as a result of the One Glendale plan, we actually created several committees. So the Arts Committee is just one of them to pursue projects that we got input from community members on. Yeah, so you can go next slide. So I think this was the first one we did. This is at Riley Elementary School. We worked with their art department to create a mural there at the school in honor of one of their teachers who had passed from cancer. And it's beautiful. You can actually see it from the street, kind of. Next slide. Art of the Confluence. So this was the first event that we put together. We just had in April, we had our second annual. So we started that one last year, and it's really about highlighting creatives who live here in Glendale or have connections to Glendale, and sharing the arts with our community. So we've gotten great support from a variety of different entities to help fund these projects. The Art at the Confluence, the Jordan River Commission, because it's right along the Jordan River, Salt Lake City Arts Council, the ACE Fund, Seven Canyons Trust actually built the park, which is the Three Creeks Confluence Park. So they helped to fund that, and then Neighbor Works. Yeah, so next one. We have just finished up, this is really exciting, a street mural project. So the idea behind this was both for traffic calming, because we have some issues with people speeding down the streets, and it's actually been shown that having a visual on the street surface will slow people down. So we recruited a neighbor, Kelby Goupil, who is an artist. We got funding from AARP and Salt Lake City Arts Council to do 3 murals. So one of them is on 800 West between 900 and 1300. So if you want to drive down that road and check it out. And then there's one by Parkview Elementary, and then one between Dual Immersion Academy and the Ward that's right across the street. If you go to the next one, I'll show you some images of these. So this is the one on 800 West, which is right down the street from my house. Selfish there. And this is Kelby, and she had a lot of volunteers helping out with those. You can go to the next one. This is the one at Parkview Elementary. The theme here is the Jordan River, if you might have guessed. So you see a lot of like flowing and the blues of the water and the browns of the earth. Next one. And this one is the one that's in front of Dual Immersion Academy. We got some great press. So I'm figuring that Kelby's probably going to have a little work in front of her coming up. But she did such a beautiful job, and we're really hoping that this helps keep the kids safe when they're leaving school or coming to school, and slow people down a little bit on 800 West. So the next. So this is a project that we're getting started. We put out a call to artists a couple of months ago, and we've selected an artist named Michelle Harris. And if you've been along the Jordan River Trail, there are several wooden signs with art. There's one in front of the International Peace Gardens, Fife Wetlands, the Labyrinth, if you've been there, and which was the one I'm missing? I always miss one.
Three Creeks. Did you
Three
say
Creeks Confluence, yes, thank you. Three Creeks Confluence Park. I don't know why that image didn't come up, but this is just what one of them looks like, the one next to the Fife Wetlands, which is right off of the 9 line of the Jordan River Trail. If you go to the next slide. Oh, did we miss? Maybe not. We're just missing an image. I wanted to show what an example of what Michelle Harris's new art will look like. So the idea is that she'll create the fronts. There's a front and a back to each one, and on the back she'll involve the community in creating that. And both sides are visible depending on where you're coming from. So that's what we've got on the docket so far. We have a lot of other possibilities. We have an arts committee meeting coming up, so we're going to discuss things that we might be working on in the next couple of years. But if you go to the next one, I just wanted to mention who's on our arts committee. Glenn Kratchuk, who's right here, Catherine Mortimer. eBay has just joined our team. Thank you very much. He works in music, and so we're excited to maybe add some more performing arts to the mix. And then myself and Turner, who's pretty key in making all of this happen. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. We've done a lot, and we have a lot more to do, and we're really excited about that. Thanks.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep plugging along. Do you mind if I take the mic back? I'm gonna just keep plugging along. Rob, do you want to go next? Talk about the event on Saturday.
Yeah. Whoops, my camera right back off. Hi everybody, my name is Rob Roque. I am from the Center for Economic Opportunity and Belonging. We are an itty bitty nonprofit, but I'm here to represent a coalition called Raised Up Utah. It is a coalition of a whole bunch of parents, stakeholders, teachers, educators, folks that are interested in K through 12 education. And we have coordinated with some national folks to do some trainings. We did one in April for parents that are interested in advocating for their kids, going and talking with the school district or building a coalition of parents to advocate. And it was awesome. In April, we did this. It was a free event, and it was a 2-day event. And we had such a great time and had so many people come out that we've decided to do a follow-up, which is going to be Saturday. It is a much shorter event, but part of the reason that I'm here today, and thank you, Turner, for letting me come here, is that when they spoke in April, one of the topics that was the most popular topic is the high school in Glendale. And I know that this community council is having some of those folks come and talk at the next community council meeting, but at the Saturday event that we're doing, that is going to be one of the focus areas. And so we would love to have any stakeholders, any community members who are interested in that high school in Glendale. Or the other topic, which is building belonging in schools. I think there's probably some interrelationship there. To come join us, it's going to be at Salt Lake Community College. And actually, let me share a screen. I'll pull up my flyer real quick so you can watch it while I'm talking a little bit here. And this is the Spanish one, but it is at the Salt Lake Community College, and we start at 9 o'clock. I will say this, we have a fantastic breakfast plan. It is a very good breakfast that we are having catered to the event. It's free. And if you want to come and join us, there is going to be that. There's going to be childcare provided through the Salt Lake Community College, free childcare. We will have Spanish translators, live translators on hand if you want to join us. And there will be an actual advocacy training from the United Way, some of the professionals coming down to do part of that. And then we will have a focus specifically, a breakout group specifically on the high school in Glendale and coalition building and getting together some like minds and talking about some of the facts and some of the statistics that are out there right now so that folks can advocate if they would like to do that. Yeah, also belonging in schools they'll have an opportunity to talk about that, belonging around safety, mental health concerns you may have. It's the perfect time as we get ready for the school year to start. And we would love to have you and just do some power building with you if you're interested. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the event. Well, it's from 9 to 12 Saturday. Any questions or anything like that?
Doesn't look like it. Thanks, Rob. Villy, I see you're here, and Councilmember Pui is. Are you representing him tonight? Or are you just listening in?
I'm just listening in.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
I'm going to give some other updates. So our Keep Glendale Beautiful Committee, we're doing our next cleanup this Saturday, and we'll be meeting at Panaderia Flores on 900 South and just west of 900 West. So it's on the south side of the road. We're going to meet there. We'll have treats and snacks for everybody. And then we're going to clean up kind of the area around the Fife wetlands and right there behind the bakery for about an hour. We're partnering with another organization. There's information on this on our website, but the short and sweet is that we'll have everything that you need. We just need you to show up and help us clean up. So that'll be our monthly cleanup for the month of August. For our transportation committee, we have finished the kind of public review part of our active transportation plan, and that's published on our website. So I'd encourage everyone to take a look at that. It's 80 pages, so it's some very light reading, but what we've tried to do is make it very action-oriented. So there's several dozen projects that we will be working on funding through capital improvement plan applications in the coming years. And basically, the goal of the plan was to make Glendale more pedestrian safe and safer for all road users. So that includes things like bike lanes, the hawk signals, which are the big signals that help you cross a busy street safely, all the way down to, there's a couple of small cutouts on sidewalks in the neighborhood that are not ADA accessible that we want to see happen. So one other update, for those of you that have been following the last couple of months, we've had some conversation about pickleball at the tennis courts at Glendale Park. The city just wrapped up another public engagement process there. I haven't seen the results of it, but based on my anecdotal experience at the event that we did for pickleball, it seems that we're going to be resurfacing 4 of the tennis courts into 6 new pickleball courts, which would likely mean that construction would happen next year as opposed to 2 years from now. So the timeline's likely going to move up on that. Last thing, we have a couple of empty board seats. We have 3 empty board seats right now. We're looking for board members. These are board seats that have a 1-year term. So if you were to join the board right now, we have 3 empty seats. You would serve the remainder of the term through January. And then in January, we have our annual elections. You don't have to have any experience. We would mentor you and provide support. And it's a really fun way to be involved in the community. Typically, our board members participate in one of our committees and help support the work of the community council. So if you care about things like public art, safe transportation, and our parks and public spaces, being involved in the community council is a great way to get involved. My last update, at our last meeting, we had Salt Lake City Transportation present about the street resurfacing on 1700 South. That project has been moved to 2024. It was originally planned to happen this fall, but they've moved it to 2024, and they're going to be able to do a larger section of the road than they had planned. So the resurfacing is just exactly what it sounds like, resurfacing, but we have the ability to update the lines on the street. And so we've asked that they include better bike lanes, more visibility for pedestrians at any point where pedestrians are crossing. So that would include painted crosswalks and bike lanes at any point on that street. I think that's it from me. Is there anyone else on the call that has a community update that we haven't called on yet? Doesn't look like it. All right, and then just a reminder, next month we'll have the superintendent and our school board member here to talk about school closures and a variety of other topics. It'll just be a Q&A. I've asked them to prepare about 15 minutes of presentation, so that there's some background information, and then they'll just be available for a full hour to answer questions and talk about the potential school closures. So Riley Elementary School is one that is slated for study. They're studying 7 different elementary schools in Salt Lake City, Riley Elementary being one of those, for potential closure. And the school board, the last timeline that I saw, the school board will get the results of that study in January, and then they'll be making a decision in the coming months about whether to close those schools. But declining enrollment and a variety of different factors are everything that was included in that. They also included transportation safety. So they looked at the safe routes to school. That grading criteria that they use to make the decision on which schools to study is available on the school district's website. I can put it together and we'll get it on our website too. We'll be back September 20th. That's our next meeting, so here at the library. Parkview was on the original list. I believe it was 21 or 25 schools that was on the master list. They've narrowed it down to 7, and it's not on the closure list anymore. So, but
Relatively new school, right?
relatively new. It does sit back in, and its enrollment is very low though.
I think Parkview had like 10 students more than the like close off date where they were like. There's 2 students and violated that.
Yeah. So it's Riley, Emerson, Mary W. Jackson, Wasatch, and I can't remember the other 3.
So I mean, like, what is gonna happen? Those are huge facilities that are.
Yeah. So if a school is closed and the district decides to sell the property, state law requires that they offer the property to the city first, and the city has the first right to purchase any closed school property. So if it were to be sold, let's say Riley Elementary closes and the school district wanted to sell it, the city would have the opportunity to purchase it. And the thing about Riley is it sits in the 9-line community development area. So the redevelopment agency would have the ability to help redevelop that. And as this process moves forward, if the decision is made to close Riley, if that happens, I would like to have both the school board member and our superintendent and the redevelopment agency back for kind of a wide-ranging conversation about that, where we can talk about it. But there is a push for a West Side high school, and Riley is quite a large piece of land. I don't know that it could fit a high school, but I think there are a lot of possibilities for what could happen. So we'll keep following it and keep people appraised.
Just one question, is there any update on when something's gonna happen with the Glendale Regional Park?
Yep, so phase 1 construction is starting in the next month or so.
I
So
keep
they've been
hearing that
removing all the,
It's in the spring, it's in the summer, and I keep looking and there's nothing.
Yeah, they're still doing demolition.
Sometime in the next.
Yep.
It's
So,
supposed to be done before the spring is my understanding.
yep, they have to have phase 1 done by April.
So
Yep.
something's gonna happen.
Yep, and it'll be the westernmost part that will be finished first, which is the basketball court, the walking trail, kind of the western part is phase 1. And then it'll move to the hill and then to the swimming pool as the last phase.
My understanding was they were gonna do something different with the lighting that helps you get across 17 South. But that
Yep.
would be updated in 20.
Yep, and the city council on Tuesday approved the city budget, and that included all the capital improvement plan applications. So there's new signaling coming all along 1700 in front of Glendale Park and Glendale Regional Park.
So the park is gonna happen
Yes,
sometime.
Yep.
In my life.
yep. They have to have phase 1 done by April. So you'll see, you should see it happening. They've been, from what I understand, the biggest issue is they've been trying to get all that concrete out from the old pillars. And they're still doing the demolition, and then they'll get started. Yeah. So,
So that's good to know. Thank you very much.
all right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you to everybody who joined online.
Thank you.